Floyd Money Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor says he can beat Floyd Money Mayweather in 30 seconds. He would mop the floor with him, make it look easy, make it look like a joke. And in an MMA fight, that's possible because Floyd Money Mayweather has never taken a devastating leg kick, never been thrown to the ground, and never been choked out. And MMA fighters, they train every aspect of fighting. They train everything. They're basically training for like a street fight, pretty much. Because if you look at a high-level MMA fight, what are they doing? Kicks, knees, elbows, and jiu-jitsu. If you're a high-level boxer, you've been training, let's say, 10 years of your life to throw punches and bunches. And here's a boxer's mentality. They'll be like, oh, okay, once Conor McGregor comes running in for a takedown, they're going to throw that uppercut, and then it's clean knocked out. Couldn't Conor McGregor get knocked out by Floyd Money Mayweather? Yeah. But Floyd Money Mayweather, and even if it was in an MMA ring, MMA octagon, or a boxing ring, which would be more comfortable for Floyd Money Mayweather, Conor would would come up just regular stance and maybe throw a punch, or what he would do is throw a kick, and that dude would not know what to do when you're throwing spinning elbows, spinning kicks. He wouldn't know what to do. He knows how to bounce around. And the problem with boxing is when he would clinch up against Conor could just suplex him. And in boxing, they have none of that. You grab him, and then when you go to clinch, the referee separates you, so the action continues. MMA always has action. That's one reason why I think a lot of people nowadays are really into the MMA game, is because the action is all there. You never have non-stop action. Like in boxing, like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Money Mayweather, they'll be boxing back and forth, and let's say Manny Pacquiao grabs him for like 10 seconds. The referee has to come over and separate him, so it makes the lack of action there. But Conor McGregor is a very confident dude because he's training mixed martial arts. And if you've never ever been to a mixed martial arts gym or to a practice, I highly recommend it. It's very intense, very hard to do. I have buddies that have trained MMA, and I'll put a clip right here. You can see of my buddies training some MMA. And this is a lower level MMA. They're just like training. They're not like professionals. So the gyms are totally different than what you see on like UFC All Access and Floyd Money Mayweather's gym that you see on his 24 hours of Floyd Money Mayweather. It's different. Everybody doesn't have octagons and rings in their gym. They don't. They have punching bags, and that's about it. But I can see why Floyd Money Mayweather would lose in a straight UFC MMA fight. In 30 seconds? Yeah, probably. Because look at it this way. You had James Toney, a high-level boxer, which a lot of people can argue he was out of shape, not looking that great. He was the same mindset as a lot of boxers. When Randy Couture comes shooting in, I'm going to run in with an uppercut and knock his ass out. And that's what he said. And even when Joe Rogan at the end of the fight was like, hey, Tony, you're going to go back and learn some jiu-jitsu. He goes, no, my jiu-jitsu game is, my ground game is top-notch. And when you looked at James Toney training camp for the MMA fight, it looked like a lot of dudes weren't really training him MMA. He was being able to just like rough him up, throw him to the ground, but he wasn't training at like AKA American Kickboxing Academy, where they're going to teach him how to train MMA. It's the same thing when you see Kimbo Slice in the ring when he comes to MMA. He's a fish out of water when it comes to the ground game. He's horrible, but when he stands and bangs, he's a pretty damn good boxer. I'll admit that. But I see why Conor McGregor is confident. And Conor McGregor has self-confidence. He even tells people in the MMA world that he's just going to beat their ass. He's going to make it look easy. And what's he do? He makes it look completely easy because he's just that much of a confident dude. But at the end of the day, could Conor McGregor hang and bang in a straight boxing match with Floyd Mayweather? I think he can hang for about 3 to 5 rounds. I really do. I think a lot of the average MMA fighter who trains boxing, Muay Thai, could actually hang with a professional boxer for at least 3 to 5 rounds. I don't think they're going to get murdered in the first round. I don't really think so, because a lot of these dudes, especially look at Nate and Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz trains with high-level professional boxers that were like Olympic caliber, and they do pretty damn good. So at the end of the day, a lot of MMA fighters are becoming pretty much so well-rounded that even maybe Floyd Money Mayweather couldn't beat him in a regular boxing match. I might be talking crazy nonsense, because Floyd Money Mayweather right now is looked at as the best combat athlete at like 42-0. But at the end of the day, if he fought any MMA fighter, lower level or high level, he would probably lose. You got to look at one other aspect of MMA. You could say you're a shitty boxer or a shitty wrestler, but if you're a high level grappler, you could still take the guy down and win. Hoist Gracie was the same way in the early 90s, taking big dudes that weighed like twice his weight, taking them down, knocking them, like just basically roughing them down to the ground, because this dude did not have really any muscle mass, didn't really throw a lot of punches and bunches or a lot of leg kicks. And what happens is he was able to choke him out. But you see what happened with Gracie. Once MMA progressed into what it is today, Gracie was not that great at MMA. He was only great at the jiu-jitsu. And when you had somebody like Matt Hughes, was a high-level jiu-jitsu guy with high-level wrestling and pretty decent striking, it nullified the dude's game, because he would go in for a takedown, like to take Matt Hughes down, but Matt Hughes would know how to get out of triangles, arm bars, and be able to win the fight. But Conor McGregor does have a good point. Even Ronda Rousey says she can beat him. It's at the end of the day, if you have more skill set than one, you're going to be able to do more damage. Let's say you're Mike Tyson and you're coming to an MMA fight, and you can only throw your hands because you never trained leg kicks, you never trained submissions. But at the end of the day, you have, just let's say, Jose Aldo coming there, and he's able to throw heavy leg kicks, heavy punches, and throw submissions. You're going to be more timid to do certain things because you're afraid the guy's going to take you down. At the end of the day, that's what MMA fighters do. They usually take the boxer down and submit him. But that's just my opinion based on a dude who been watching UFC. I started watching UFC in 1996 when Ken Shamrock was the world's most dangerous man. That's when I started really getting into MMA and kind of not really understanding what it was. And now I really understand exactly what's going on, and I really love it. I love the actual aspect of you tapping someone out. It's like no mas. It's like you're there to fight another day. It says the guy was better than you that day, and the fight is done. In boxing, the only thing that's bad about it is you can have a guy taking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of body shots and punches, but the referee will never stop it unless you get 3 knockdowns or it goes to a judge. That's why you see a lot of these boxing matches go to a judge's decision, just because of the bigger gloves. And in MMA, a lot of people, there's early stoppages. Yeah, there might be early stoppages, but a lot of times it's more devastating and people are getting more hurt because you're wearing smaller gloves. But Conor McGregor will win against Floyd Money Mayweather 9 times out of 10 in an MMA fight. In a boxing match, he would be able to survive at least 5 rounds. That's my personal opinion. And as always, hit the like button, subscribe button, and let me know what you guys think of this thing.